on the literary, some music work, literary works and all, or some pamphlets or brochures, some bloggers, everything, whenever they give some written information or literary work, there will be a C in encircled C, I can say. So that means that particular content is copyrighted, means you are not supposed to copy it. The person, the author of the literary work, the person who wrote it for the first time, has got the rights. So again, he has created a property. So he has created a fencing for his work, what he has done, what he has authored. So we are not supposed to copy it. Then it is copyrights. So I have just put it as don't copy. So next comes trademarks. Trademarks we all know, I guess, but still I'm just going to stress on it. Trademarks are the logos or the brand symbols or some wording phrases what we use to show people that our unique recognition mark it is. So we have, it is like we all know Adidas means we all recognize with its symbol itself, like Puma. So that like Nike. So like that only, it is like when you look at the symbol, people should recognize what your brand is, what your name is. So it is a unique recognition what we give to our company or a brand through a logo, through a symbol or a mark. So that is what is trademarks. And let patents and designs. So patents are like, as I said, you develop a product or a technology, you work on a process, a new methodology you give, and that has to be patented. As I said, patent is a exclusive right what you take for the invention what you have done. In that we have designs also. A subcategory of patents is design patents. So I can explain in detail through our next slide. So GI and trademark have just taken it. So geographical indication, because this was the question which I faced when I did my previous webinar. So I thought, okay, I'll put this also and leave a differentiation between what GI and trademark is. So GI is a geographical indication where we work on it is an indication, maybe some natural product or agriculture product which we get from that particular geographical location. For example, I can say Darjeeling tea. Though tea is grown everywhere throughout the world, and even so, since we are getting it. So, sir, is there any issues, or shall I continue? Am I audible?
Yes, madam. Audible.
Yeah, sir. Okay, sir. So I'll continue. So what GI is a geographical identification what we take from a particular geographical location, like Darjeeling tea. As I said, though we get tea, people grow tea everywhere around the world, but Darjeeling tea has got a specific indication because the features, the properties it exhibits are unique from the tea which we get throughout the world, from rest part of the world. So they are unique. And one more example for GI is like, I can say Mysore silk saris. What we get in Mysore is it has got a GI. And I can say Tirupati laddu also, they have taken a GI. So like that, from specific geographic indication, if it is unique, then we get it as GI. So people get, usually if they ask me what is trademark. Trademark is for your specific business, for a individual, it is for individual interest, whereas GI is for the region specific interest. So that is what is difference between GI and trademark. So next, what a patent. So what is a patent? So it's a legal right to exclude others from making, using, or selling an invention for a limited period of time. It is a legal right we take on the invention, whatever we do, and we protect it, and we have all the rights, whether we have to sell it, we have to commercialize it, manufacture it, or you have to lease it for a limited period of time. You have got all the exclusive rights on it, on the product, and you can exclude others from using it without your knowledge. So this is the important aspect what we can say patent is. So types of patent we have. So first one will be types of patent and design patent have just differentiated. So let me say when the patent comes into picture. So legal right conferred for new process when we are taking the legal right for a new process, product, or technology. So when you are making some changes in the functional aspects of the whatever the product or a technology or anything invention what you're doing, so if your process or your procedure involves functional aspects, changes to the functional aspects, then we go for a patent. When will design patent come into picture? When we have some distinct configuration or aesthetic look of the product. So when you are going to give a different look to the product, so you have a distinct configuration, aesthetic look, you have made some changes in the dimensions, you make it look very beautiful than the existing product, like it should be a treat to the eyes, I can say. So that time you can go for filing a design patent. Or you have designed some new kind of a water purification filter, you have some different thing, then what I can say is, okay, your filter is somewhat different in design, but purpose will be same. Filtering water purification purpose is to filter the water, but still the look you are going to give, we are not going to look into the procedure of how we are going to filter the water, what are the techniques involved to filter the water. But here the main thing what we look at is the design. And that design, since you have modified the design, it should have some specific reason. Maybe because of the change in the design of the filter, the efficacy of filtration may increase. So there will be some reason behind changing, like modifications what we give to the designs. At that time it is a valid patent and you can go for grant. Design patent is much in trending now because the grant is within 6 months of time from the date of filing. So when, as sir said, Rajeshwaran sir said that just filing a patent or going for publication is not the last stage of a patent. We have much more than that. So we have to go up to the stage of grant. So in that case, design patent will be granted within 6 months of time. So you will have a granted patent within 6 months of time. Not, and design patent, there's no process called publication and all like what we have for our regular patents. Design patents are their procedure itself is different. So there is nothing called publication and all. So you just file a patent. You'll have after filing a patent, you'll get an FER, first examination report. You're not even going to request here. You're going to get everything is like automized process as far as design patent is considered. So once you file the application, you have to wait for some time. You'll receive the first examination report, and based on the report, we are going to your attorney or patent agent, whoever is going to work on that, is going to respond for it. Once responded, the case is going for the technical examination. Once passing through technical examination, next it is going to the table of controller of designs. So he's the person who is going to decide on the grant or ungrant of it. And here there is no hearings and all such things going to happen in design. Whereas patent is a very long procedure. I can explain when we go to the next slides, you'll understand what are the process involved when going for a patent. But design is not like that. We don't have any hearings, nothing. So a designer will have the file, and it is up to him. It is the sole decision of the controller to say whether your design patent is granted or not. So this is how is the difference between design patent and a normal utility patent what we file. So just to change our topic, or just make us think what innovation and invention is, and just to give us a push to just start with work, like even we should get a patent. Tomorrow, maybe as sir said, maybe in the afternoon session when I'm going to discuss, I wish I'll get at least some 5 to 6 ideas, new innovative ideas. Okay, so I'll just brief out what invention and innovation is. Invention is like you do something for the first time. It's like nowhere existing. You are creating that. You are bringing out, implementing it. You are producing the technology for the first time. Nowhere it has been implemented. Then it is invention. Doing something for the first time. Innovation is already existing, but you give some modifications to it so that its efficacy increases. So we have some efficiency as compared to the older version of it. So giving a new version to an already existing product can also be called as an innovation. So here, the first thing, the wooden comb, what you can see here is the thing which was invented for the first time, which was invented for the very first time. Then it is invention. The second one here, which is in the blue color, the comb, what you can see blue or purplish color, that is innovation. Because see, the purpose of comb is to comb the hair, but the design they have changed. They have given some modifications to it. Then it is innovation. The other version of the comb. So that is innovation. So same thing like umbrella, it was a thing which was invented for the first time. You just have to hold it, and here there is no handle to hold it also. See, so it's like just made easy. You have to just wear it to your around your scalp and just move around. So this is what is the difference between invention and innovation. So let me pose a question here. So so you all are muted. I have to answer myself, but still I'll just pose a question to make it interactive. That's it. So here the thing is, we all know, like, can you just think what is the difference between these two umbrellas? Sir, is there possibility for them to unmute themselves? Sir?
Yes, ma'am, we had a possibility.
Okay, they can unmute. Okay, fine. So the second thing, the umbrella, which was invented for the first time, and the other one, which is new. Can you just give the reason behind why they have changed that from this kind of umbrella to that? So should I make it interactive, or should I give the reasons and move on?
To keep the hands free.
Yeah, sir. So what's the motive behind that? Don't you think, sir, laziness would also be one of the reason?
He can use his hands for some other purpose. His hands will be free.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So multitasking. So we can say it as multitasking. So the what they felt was like, okay, we can, as sir said, very nice. Sir, this is how we think out of the box. So when we saw that product, we felt that, okay, why should our hands be held to the umbrella stick? We can use it when it is, if it is free, we can use it to, we can utilize our hands to do some other work. So we can do some multitasking also. So that was the reason, like, this is how we started thinking. So what we can do is, why I asked that question was like, take a product, like people say, how can we invent things, how can we innovate things? It is very difficult. We have to give so much of time to it. We have to sit, we have to think the entire night to get out of an invention. No, that's not the thing. Like, what we can do is, see, ultimately, you, if you want to commercialize your technology or a product, what you can do is, you just have to take a, you have to take any existing product, as they have taken an umbrella and they felt that, why should we hold it for such a long time? Our hands will pain and all that. It's, instead of that, you can just wear and you can walk around. So they thought, okay, we need something, there is a change. Like that only, you can also think of using, like, take a product already existing one and think what can be done to it. See, or like what we use today, headphones, wireless ones. Before they were wired ones. So people thought, okay, we have, if you, we have to plug in and sit at the same position, you can't move around. So they wanted something like, okay, I have to fix it to my ears and move around, but still my headphones should be on. So they thought, okay, why we have to go to the wireless thing. So like that, our cell phones, which we previously we were using the keypad phones with the buttons, later we realized, okay, why should we just keep pressing the buttons? We were so lazy enough. So we thought, okay, we'll just move on to the next thing. Just touch and do dial a call or receive a call. And now that also has been moved out, because they've realized, okay, why should I come to my phone, touch it and then receive a call? How about just speaking to the phone, speech recognition, and just say receive the call, means it's going to receive my call. So this is how we are just moving out from a very, like, already existing thing. Invention, it's like you just see the already existing product which is available to us, which is around us. Just see them, just try to give some modifications to them, then it is nothing but an innovation. So now I guess it is easy, and you people can just think of things. Just look around, you'll have so many things. Even in the kitchen there is an innovation. So just think around, see, and just think of giving an update to the existing product. then it is damn sure it is going to be an innovation. So this is how we can work on innovation and invention. I guess this slide is clear. So let me say, as we know what the patent is like, as I said, you're creating a property. There is a way you can sell it, lease it, and all that I said. So the smarter way of doing a business, if you really have, you can start a startup company with your product. Once you have got your idea, you have gone to file a patent on it, you have received a patent. And one more thing I can stress here, once after filing the patent, there is no necessary that you will have to wait until grant for commercializing the product. Commercialization can be done at any stage after your patent has been published. So once the patent has been published, you can go for commercializing the product. There is no need for you to wait for grant. So innovation, as I said, what the smarter way of doing business is, once you have an innovation, you go and file a patent for it in a smarter way, and then you will start with your business. But the traditional way was just like invent, innovate, do business, invent, innovate, and do business. Do you think it is going to scale in the market, or will there be stability? Not at all. Only when there is a protection to your product, your competitor will fear to at least look into what you're doing. Okay, so he takes some time. Even though he knows what your product is, he'll have to take your product, he'll have to do an R&D to see how it works, what technology you have used, what process you are using, some method you have implemented. Everything takes time. So he has to take your product, study your entire product, do an R&D, and come out with a result, or come out with some innovative product. Maybe it will take some 2 to 3 years of time. By then, your product would have scaled really well in the market. You would have earned out of it. And also, always the first product stands as a brand. So though there may be copyrighted products in the market, but still the original will have its value. So the same way, you are outstanding from others in your business when you have your patent. Like a business in the sense, a startup company. I've seen many people who just given I start with just get for a single product. They get a patent, they commercialize it, do get a startup done, and they settle in their life. I can say IIT guys, you would have heard about, I guess, because since Malla Reddy College has already given so much of inputs to innovation and invention, I guess IIT guys, they had invented some fans, gorilla fans. They were three guys started it. What their story was like, they were sharing a same room in the hostel. So one day, one of the person wanted to switch on the fan. Okay, all three were saying the other to go and switch on the fan. They were so much lazy to go get up and switch on the fan from the switchboard. So the other, everyone was requesting the other. So what they thought, okay, why can't we go for a remote fan? So you can just switch it on and control its speed from the place where you are. So you need not have to go up to the switchboard and switch it on. So like that, they started the remote fan, and now they are best in the market. They have earned in millions, they have settled. So what they'll do, first 3 years, they'll run with that product. By that 3 years of time, they'll just think of another idea and start, like I can say, okay, another idea, and they'll start working on it. So they'll get a patent done and commercialize the other product. This is how their career is going to be shaped. So this is also one of the important aspect, I can say. So patenting system in India. So we have just taken a brief, like what IPR and all that is till now, and what is innovation and invention, how we can do it. And now we are just entering directly into the IP section. So what Indian patent offers is, and how it is going to work. Okay, so who can apply for patent? An individual or team of individuals who are true inventors. So the inventors of the patent have all the rights to be an applicant and apply for the patent. Also an MSME or a small scale industry. So any small scale industry have equal rights for filing a patent in its own name if its employees are working as inventors for it. Then a startup company. So a company which is certified by DIPP, so Department of Industrial Promotion and Policy. So we all know what a startup company is. It has to be recognized by DIPP, and it should not, the company should not be more than 5 years old, and its turnover should not be 25 crores in any of its financial year. So then it will have the recognition of a startup company. So then a large entity is like our institution, colleges, universities. So they come under large entity. So legal representative of a dead person, in case a person is dead, and his representative can obviously go for filing a patent in his or her name. So these are the different categories of applying for a patent, and any combinations is possible. So any of these combinations is possible, like an individual person can go and file a patent. An individual, as I say, an individual person can go and file a patent along with a startup company or an MSME or a large entity. Like, see, college can only be the applicant. Do you think college name can come in the inventor? It looks so hard. How can a college invent? College is a non-living thing. How can it be an inventor? How can it invent something? So applicant will be the college, and the inventors will be the persons who have worked for the college and who have worked on that particular project to get the invention or innovation. So this is how it goes. So any of these combinations is possible. And like sometimes even an individual faculty member along with the company can also go for filing a patent. There can be two applicants, natural person as well as the large entity. So that is possible, but only condition here is highest applicant's fee has to be paid to the patent office. So the fee that has to be paid to the patent office will be the highest applicants. Like if the college and the individual is going together, the fee that has to be paid will be in the same fee as a large entity cater. So that is how we have to go. Startup has this all the benefits that an individual gets. So I have to stress on this. What all the procedure is there for filing a patent in the Indian Patent Office for an individual is the same subsidies and timelines, guidelines, everything is same for a startup company also. See, this is how government is supporting the startup company. They are giving all the subsidies and the timelines, fee structure, and individual is getting for the startup company also. So here I can just stress out on like authorities and power of hierarchy, what is there in the Indian Patent Office IPO. So first applicant, he is going to get, he's the authorized person to request for getting a patent registered in his name. Then the applicant will approach a patent agent or attorney to get that task done. Then the application is going to reach the patent office. There, the responsible person, the highest responsible person is the Controller General of Patents, Designs and Trademarks. Then comes the controllers, deputy controllers, and the officers. Next, if there is any case of infringements, that means if you feel somebody else have copied your patent, or if you feel you have published it and your patent is just in journal and somebody else have already commercialized the product, what it is in your patent. So if you feel the features are same, you can just go and file a suit against them. So and you have to prove upon the date. Okay, whenever there is a case of infringement, what has to be considered and what has to be proved is that your product or your invention was registered in the patent office before, or you have already applied for the same concept in a journal. So all that dating proof, whatever the time stamp and date is very important to prove the case of infringement. So you can prove the appellate board that sir or ma'am, this is the thing what I have done previously itself, and I have got it published in so and so journal, or in a patent journal of on such and such date. All that things you can give as a proof, and you can solve your case of infringement. To solve that case, we have appellate board, where we have the chairman, scientific advisors of the person who will be from this field of the specific scientific field. For example, your product, okay, it is related to mechanical and electrical field, and there is a case of infringement for that particular product. The scientific advisors will be the members from that specific field itself, so that they can give better advices. Then even though your case has not been solved in appellate board, then you can have obviously reach the district court, high court, Supreme Court, and above Supreme Court is WIPO, that is World Intellectual Property Rights. So that is the highest in the cadre. So you can reach there and you can get your things done. Then the global patent offices. So what can be patented? As I said, so this is the important thing what we can look on. What can be patented? So process or method, any new process or a method you have invented, you can, or innovated, you can go for getting the patent done. For example, I can, as I said, water purification process. If you have introduced one new filter or a membrane, you have done some new methodology of filtering the water, then obviously you can go and file a patent for that water purification technique. Then comes a product. Any product, if you're innovated and you have given some new features, it has novelty, it is nowhere existing already in the market, by all means you can go and file a patent for the same thing. As I said, design patent is considered about the aesthetic look, design, configuration, efficacy. So you can go and file a patent if you have given some modifications to the design of the existing product. You can go and file a design patent. So design patent, it is very easier as compared to patent because timeline is just 6 months of time. Next comes the chemical composition. Subject to certain conditions, there are also possibility for patenting the chemical composition. Microorganisms. Microorganisms are also patentable. So these are the things what can be patented. So let me just move on to types of patent application, because as I said, what can be patented. Now let me say what are the types of patent applications. So an ordinary application. Ordinary application is an application which is just filed by any natural person. Anybody can file it. It can be the natural person, a large entity, whatever the combinations which I have said there. Who can apply for a patent? That section is coming under the picture here. So under the ordinary application, anybody can file an application which is just restricted to Indian Patent Office. You file and you get it done. What we regularly find is an ordinary application. Conventional application comes into picture when you have to file an international application under convention application. There are conventional countries. There is a treaty, and in that convention treaty, we have some countries, around 152 countries, and you request for your patent publication or your patent application will be submitted to those all the convention countries. Then comes the PCT application. PCT means Paris Convention Treaty. So Paris Convention Treaty was conducted, and there are 178 countries under the treaty. So if you have to file your application, you can just put under PCT application, means you have all the rights to request for patent grant or publication or submitting from all the countries which comes under the treaty. So as one PCT application is requesting all 178 countries, but still in that you have to select the countries in which you have to get the grant. So you will have to file a PCT application and then select the specific national country where you have to get the patent. For example, you file a PCT and you suppose you seek protection from US Patent Office, USPO. You have to mention US Patent Office and you have to request I can say search examination report from there. And if suppose you also want to seek protection for your invention or your product, suppose you have this comes into picture when you have the commercialization idea in your mind and you feel that my product should not just scale in India, but it should also be commercialized in the other countries like US or UK. That time you have to European Patent Office also. When you want to get the protection in European countries, then you approach European countries, European Patent Office, EPO, you approach and you get it patented. So this is how it works. So PCT application comes in international application concepts. Next, patent of addition. Okay, suppose you have done a methodology and you have got it filed already as a patent. We have invented something, we have created a product or something, and we have already filed a patent for it. And later, maybe after 2 or 3 months or maybe 6 months of time, you feel that, okay, I would have added this also to my patent. Okay, I didn't do it. This is also a part of my patent, but I forgot. As far as journal is considered, you can just write another journal and you can do it. But here it is not the case. At that time, if you feel you have left out something, you have to add on. You have some add-on to your already filed patent application. At that time, patent of addition type of application comes into picture. So you are going to file a additional application for the already filed one. So you're just going to give a add-on to the patent of addition to the already existing patent. So this is how it is coming into picture. So patent of addition will have the same date on the grant. Okay, suppose if you are going for the grant, both the applications, your first application and the second application will be considered, and the timelines, everything is same. As far as divisional application is considered, you are going to divide the same application into two. So you had first filed for first part of your application. Since you felt that, okay, suppose you have an invention and you have a fear that if I don't go and file, someone else may go for it. At that time, to seek protection, what you do is you just go file a patent for the first part. Okay, whatever results are ready, how much ever your project is complete, only up to that stage you're going to file a patent, and you have protected it, you have secured it, and rest, you maybe another 2 or 3 months time, the rest part of the experiment is also complete and results are ready, and you want to go for filing a patent at this stage. At that time, whatever the divisional application is already existing, you can just go add this and get your application complete. So divisional application will have the same thing, like division application will have different timelines, and it is not considered with the main application. What the first application, we call it as a main application, and the second one is a secondary application. So that doesn't have any timelines and it doesn't match with the first thing. But only thing is you can claim the priority there. So this was my first application. I just wrote this, I added the results, and this is my second. So divisional application comes into picture. So let me just check on now what cannot be patented. So what cannot be patented? Under section 3, so this is according to the Amendment Patent Act of 1970. So only the rules are changing, but there are no changes in the act or the laws or the sections. Every year there will be amendment to the patent rules, but there will be no changes to the, there are still like since 1970 there has been no changes to the patent acts, but law of 1970 there is no changes, but there will be changes to the rules. So let me say one by one patented. So under section 3 we have 8 of F clauses which says against established natural laws. So anything which is against the natural law. So there are some specific natural laws. So can you just prove anything against gravity? No, it is a natural law. So when you say something which is against the natural law, how can you claim that it is an innovation or an invention? And the patent office is never going to accept it. So first thing is, when you invent or innovate something that is against the natural laws. Next comes harmful to human or animal life. When you invent or innovate something that is harmful to the human or animal life, that cannot be acceptable. Suppose if you just come out with some innovation or an invention which is life threatening for an animal or a human, will that be applicable? Not at all. I can stress more on this when we speak about research ethics in the afternoon session, because where human and animal care is the first and important ethical principle that has to be considered. So I speak more about that in the afternoon session. So please don't invent or innovate something that is harmful to the human or animal life, and the patent office is never going to accept it. Next, scientific theory, abstract or discovery of living or non-living substance in nature. Discovering an already living plant or some organism which is already there in the nature. If it is no, you know what discovery is, which is already there but it has been never found previously. That is what is discovery. So it cannot be patented. If you just show a new plant, new variety of a plant, new species of a plant, and say that we just want to go for patented, it is not possible under section 3 and clause C. So another chemical form of an existing substance without improved efficacy. Okay, here why I'm specifying without improved efficacy is, you can also go for filing a chemical reaction or some chemical composition which has some efficacy. If you give some improvements to it, and if you can prove the efficacy of it, then you can go for filing it. If there is no efficacy and you say, okay, so for example, A is there, and you create B, which is just form of another form of an existing subject A. That time you can never go for claiming a patent for that. Admixtures resulting in aggregation of properties. So you're just mixing. So A and B give some results, and you just make A, B, and C and give the same result. That is not possible. So aggregation of properties, you can never go for filing a patent in Indian law. Next, just rearrangement or arrangement of components working independently. As I said, A and B works really well. Okay, and you just combine A and B and give a result. That is not possible for going for a patent. So A is working all with, and there are no like, you have never given any improvements. A is all fine, it is working. You haven't identified any drawbacks or disadvantages of it. So A is all fine. Next, you take up B. B is also all fine, it's working, it has its own advantages, and it's everything is there, but you don't know what to do. So what you do is you just take A and B, combine and give some properties. Will that be acceptable? Not at all. That kind of rearrangement of the components is not applicable for patenting. So they are out of the patenting criterion. Next, methods of agriculture or horticulture. So any new method of agriculture you do, or any horticulture methods like I can say some crafting or some kind of growing the plants, or some technique, some methods you invent some methods of agriculture or horticulture, that is not at all acceptable under patent. So you cannot go for filing a patent for that. Next, medicinal or therapeutic processes for humans or animals. See, medicinal or therapeutic processes for humans or animals are not patentable, because see, medicine is for the nation. So how can you just give the exclusive rights for a medicine to a particular person or a company? Is it acceptable? No. So see, when you have this question, especially during this COVID time, even though you come out with a drug or something like that, you can never claim exclusive rights on it. You can't expect royalty for it. You can't just sell that patent. You can't just keep it for yourself. It is the nation's property. You know what government will do? If you do something like that, like some drug or something which is some methodology, some drug or some energy, or something, some sachets or something, which is have for medicinal value, you just can't keep it for yourself. Government will procure it. You know what they do? They just take the patent and pay you in return, like whatever the minimal amount they feel. Okay, this is what I should give to this inventor. Inventor will get his benefits in times of one-time settlement, a financial benefit for his concept, but he can never keep his rights. He don't have any rights to say government that I don't want to give this to the government. I just want to keep it to myself. That is not possible. Central government is going to procure the rights for that particular medicine or whatever he has invented. So individual persons cannot go for claiming a patent for it. Next, plants, trees, their parts, biological process of production in nature except microorganisms. As I said, what can be patented? So microorganisms came under that category of what can be patented. So here it can accept, okay, whatever is a biological process production in nature. So what is happening as a law, a natural law, and it is whatever the plants and everything is happening just because of the natural biological process. You just can't go and claim for getting it patented in your individual name. So that is also not applicable under patent law. Next, mathematical model or business model or computer program or algorithm. So any mathematical model, business model or computer program or algorithm can never be patented. So many people have asked me, can I can I patent my business model? Because they just want to be, they feel that, okay, we have a unique way of doing the business and we want to protect it. That is not possible under patent law of India. But business model can be patented in rest of the countries other than India. Like many people said, okay, ma'am, we are able to patent it in US. Yeah, obviously US law allows for it. US patent law allows for patenting the business model, but Indian law never allows for it. So mathematical model, business model, computer program and algorithm. This is very important because many of the time, like though I am a software engineer, people ask, ma'am, we have developed some new kind of an software. Can we patent it? No, but I can, that was like even in every webinar, at the end of webinar, again, there will be a question. Ma'am, I'm a software engineer. Can I get my software patented? No, computer programs or algorithm or softwares can never be patented, but they have all the rights to go for copyrights. So they can always be copyrighted. Please don't leave that protection. So you can go and protect it through copyright. So anything related to copyrights, so literary, artistic and dramatic work. As I said, any work which is related to copyrights cannot be patented. So when you go for a copyright, it is never eligible for going for a patent because it is a literary work, artistic or some dramatic work, some music and all that cannot be patented, but they can all be copyrighted. So scheme or method of playing a game or doing something with mental power. So when there is some scheme or a method of playing a game, can you just patent a method of playing a game or doing something with mental power? All that cannot be patented. So doing something with mental power, where is the process, method, methodology, technology, invention, innovation? Nothing. You're just doing it out of your mind. So where will you get the proof for it? How can you prove that? Is that a hypothesis? It will be a hypothetical statement, that's it, which is invalid also at the end. So you just can't go for getting a patent for such acts. So these are the things which cannot be patented. And we still have some more things. I can just say about that also. Clauses NP of section 3 up to end. Presentation of any information. You just can't go and get a patent presenting an information in a different way. So again, it comes under copyright. So you have some information. I present my information in a different way. I'm very unique from others. So I just want to go and get my patent granted. That will not be possible for presentation of information. It is not patentable. Topography of ICs. So topography of IC, integrated circuits, ICs, integrated circuits. So topography of integrated circuits is not possible at all. So you just can't go for getting a patent for integrated circuits. Next, traditionally known concept.
Hello, madam. PPT is not visible.
Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, yes, madam. Call it. Okay.
Okay, sir. So next we have traditionally known concept by traditional knowledge. So something which we have gained through our ancestors, which is in our tradition, can never be patented. So that is one more important thing what we can stress upon here. So traditionally known concepts can never be patented. Next, Section 4 of Patent Act 1970. What it says, we'll just see into it. No patent shall be granted in respect of an invention relating to atomic energy falling within subsection 1 of 20 of the Atomic Energy Act of 1962. So whatever, if you invent a patent, if you invent a concept or a product or a methodology which is related to atomic energy, then that is never going to get granted, or you're not going to get a patent for that particular concept. Again, government will never allow for it. Central government will never allow for it. So please, if you have an intention to get a patent done, okay, please don't work on atomic energy. If you're working on it, just keep it for journals or something, but you're never going to get a patent grant for the particular subject. So atomic energy, inventions relating to atomic energy cannot be patented. So Section 35 of Patent Acts of 1970. So any invention related to defense purposes or the national security will not be published or granted unless clearance from Defense Department is obtained. So here what happens is, you have to request when you apply for for a particular concept for a patent application, that will be scrutinized by the central government. You know what? Defense Department has to be give. So immediately is obtained from the central government. Okay, so what they do is, as soon as the patent application is received to the IPO, if they feel the concept is related to defense purpose of the nation, immediately that will be transferred to the Defense Department and the central government. And it is up to them to get the approval from the Defense Department and give it to the persons, saying that, okay, this is clear. So you can go ahead and doing this. Even there are possibility for getting imprisoned for 2 years. So I just heard about this. So when you go and do it somewhere, if you break the rules and you do it, if you commercialize the product even before getting the permission from the Central Government of Defense, then you will be behind the bars for 2 years. That is also possible under law, Section 35 of Patent Act of 1970. So please don't do that. So this is one of the important aspect. So for example, some webinars I have faced this question also. So let me answer before that. So what they say is, defense purposes. Ma'am, what kind of projects will come under defense purposes? Suppose you do some aviation, some things related to aviation, something related to drone systems or something like that, or you saw something like underwater vehicles, UAVs, and all that comes under the defense purpose category, and that will never get a clearance from the government unless and until you prove it. Sometimes, see, sometimes they even say robotics as comes under Section 35 of Patent Act, but you will have to prove it, how your robotic technology is going to work, what will be its purpose, what is the advantages of that particular invention, what you have done. And if they are convinced and they feel that it is not against the it is not against the security of our nation, it is not against the defense purpose, then they'll surely give a go for it. Otherwise, without that, please kindly don't go for doing it. Even not only in India, like even if you want to file the patent outside India, like any other country out of other than India, there also you can't do it. Since your nationality is India, you're an Indian, you just can't say, okay, robotics and UAVs are not patentable here, why can't I get it in some other countries? No, it is not possible, because you have to first take permission from the Indian government. Then only you have to move to that step. If they get to know that you have directly applied in some other country without informing the Indian IP office, then there is a rule that you will be behind bars for 2 years. So this is how it is going to act. So let me just brief out. Let me just brief out what cannot be patented. So against established natural laws, harmful to human or animal life, scientific theory, abstract discovery of living. So anything which is against the natural laws, which is harmful to the human or animals, which are discovering, which are already existing in the nature, and if you just discover it, you can't claim patent for it. another existing form of a chemical and admixtures of already existing things, and you just say that there are improvements, it cannot be agreed, and just rearrangement of components which are working independently